Developing tonight, 2 people are dead after a head-on crash in Dakota County, Nebraska. It all happened this morning. The Dakota County Sheriff says it happened about 7:30 a.m. in the intersection of Highway 77 and 210th Street, that's south of Dakota City. A car and SUV collided head-on. The sheriff's office says witnesses reported the car was driving in the wrong lanes at the time. That car, driven by a 33-year-old man living in Homer, he died at the scene. The driver of the SUV, a 46-year-old woman from South Sioux City, was flown by helicopter to a Sioux City hospital, but she died from her injuries. Neither driver is being identified pending the notification of their families.